Over the last few years, I've taken thousands of sales calls and I've easily reviewed hundreds of sales calls of my own and other sales reps. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact problems I see new sales reps making consistently that's preventing them from making way more money. The things I'm about to talk about today in this video, I've seen be the difference between sales reps who make a couple $1,000s a month versus $15,000 a month on the exact same role. Same opportunity, same offer, same marketing. The only difference is the sales process. The difference between a good and bad sales process can be that significant. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the first mistake I see sales reps making all the time. Number one is having a shallow discovery. The discovery is arguably one of the most important parts of a sales call. And so making sure that you have this nailed in and do it properly is essential to having a high close rate. One of the number one mistakes people make in a discovery is trying to find a bunch of information out rather than going deep on what the important information is. Someone who's mentored me along my sales journey a lot always tells me that gold is found by going deeper, not wider. Imagine that you have a prospect who's here and they need to get to here in order to close. You're going to move them so much further along that path by asking them deeper level questions than you are by asking them a bunch of random questions about what their situation is. Essentially, whenever you find something that is a major sticking point for a prospect, you need to ask 2 to 3, maybe even 4 levels deeper below that initial question. A lot of beginner sales reps don't know how to do this effectively without feeling cringy, and so they don't actually end up doing it. A beginner sales rep will find some sort of problem that a prospect has, and instead of going a few levels deeper to fully understand that problem, how long it's been an issue, what they've done to try and solve it, etc., instead they just try to pivot to a completely different problem. The second reason a lot of beginner sales reps don't make as much money as they should is because they don't have a good follow-up process. A good follow-up process actually starts before you start following up with someone. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? A bad follow-up process looks like this. You get to the end of a sales call, your prospect isn't fully ready to buy, you've tried closing them over and over, and you guys agree that it would make sense to come back together after the call. I see a ton of beginner sales reps get to the end of a call and they don't set up a specific follow-up time. The number one way to see all of your leads ghost you and never respond is to not set up a set follow-up date. Then you have a good follow-up process where maybe you couldn't close them on the first call, but you get to the end of a call, you guys agree on a specific day and time to come back together, you send them a calendar invite and they accept that invite on the call. You text them some resources from your personal phone number to watch through and you explain exactly what each of those resources are before you get off the initial meeting. Ideally, your follow-up is within the next 48 hours with that prospect, so you're still top of mind with them. You text them after the meeting thanking them for hopping on and maybe send over a testimonial or two. And then you text them the morning of your guys' meeting with a follow-up message as well. You've set a clear agenda of what the prospect can expect, and you've given them the timeline to make a decision by because you guys have a set meeting coming up. The third thing that most beginner sales reps just don't do well on their sales calls is the pitch. If you're a sales rep, and I mentioned the word pitch, and what comes into your mind is a list of deliverables that you read off to your prospect and try and position them in some fancy way, then I have bad news for you. You are messing up your pitch. A good pitch actually starts in the discovery where you fully uncover their situation and fully understand exactly what the prospect is looking for. From there, the way that you pitch should be customized towards the prospect's specific situation. Let's say that you're selling a weight loss offer to someone and the person is going to have a specific coach who guides them along their journey. A bad way to pitch that would be explaining that they're going to have a one-on-one coach who helps them through every single step of the way along their fitness journey. A good way to pitch that would be saying, hey, Mr. Prospect, I remember how you told me in the past couple years as you've been trying to lose weight, where you fall off is usually with your diet, and that's just because you don't really have someone to hold you accountable. Family's not there, friends aren't really there for you. That's exactly why you're going to have a one-on-one accountability coach inside of our program who's going to be helping guide you day to day based on your diet and doing live check-ins with you through text to make sure that you're still on track. The first situation, you're just listing off a deliverable of a one-on-one coach. In the second situation, you're showing them the actual solution to the problem they've been facing in the past. This is something that I don't see many sales reps doing when I review calls. And if you start doing it, I can guarantee you're going to start making more money. That's it. Those are my 3 things that you can do to make more money as a sales rep that I've noticed most people don't do properly. If you guys want a lot more hands-on help, go down to the first link in my bio, join my private community, and I'll see you guys inside.